After the age of 60, something subtle but powerful begins to happen inside the body, and most people never realize it until they start feeling weaker, slower, and less capable than they once were. The muscles, which have carried the body through decades of work, play, and life's challenges, start to lose more than just strength. They begin to lose their ability to hold water. It might not sound like a big deal at first. Water seems simple, something you drink, something your body uses, something you've been told to get enough of for years. But this isn't just about drinking water. This is about whether that water actually reaches your muscles, whether it actually stays there, and whether it's doing the one thing it must do: keep your muscles alive, strong, and ready for action. By the time most people reach their 60s, they may still be drinking the same amount of water they always have, but their muscles are already experiencing a quiet drought. It's not the kind of dehydration that makes you feel unbearably thirsty. It's deeper than that. This is cellular dehydration, the slow draining of moisture from the inside of your muscle fibers. And when that happens, every movement, from climbing the stairs to carrying groceries, becomes just a little harder. Recovery after a walk takes longer. Muscles feel stiff and tight in the morning. And activities that once felt easy now require more effort, more focus, more determination. Why? Because water isn't just a drink, it's the lifeblood of your muscle tissue. It cushions, it protects, and it fuels every contraction. Without enough water inside the muscle cells, your body has to work harder to move. Joints bear more stress because dehydrated muscles can't absorb impact the way they once did. Cramps appear out of nowhere, sometimes even at rest, and the ability to generate strength starts to decline at a faster pace. The irony is that most people don't connect these changes to hydration at all. They assume it's just getting older or losing muscle with age. But the truth is, hydration and muscle function are inseparable, especially after 60. And here's the crucial part. Drinking more plain water isn't always the answer. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that you can drink glass after glass of water and still feel thirsty, or still feel like your muscles aren't getting any looser or more energized? That's because water on its own doesn't guarantee hydration where it matters most. Without the right internal conditions, much of that water simply flows through you, in and out, without fully entering the muscle cells. That means you could be doing all the right things, staying active, eating well, drinking enough water, and still be walking around with muscles that are essentially thirsty. And the scary part is that cellular dehydration isn't just uncomfortable. Over time, it contributes to faster muscle loss, slower recovery, and a higher risk of injuries. But here's the empowering truth. It doesn't have to be that way. Your muscle cells have the ability to pull water inside and keep it there, but they need a very specific key to unlock that door. Without it, hydration slips away. With it, your muscles can hold onto the water they desperately need, no matter your age. Imagine what changes when your muscles are properly hydrated. The stiffness that makes mornings slow starts to fade. Your steps feel lighter. Strength returns more quickly after activity. Even your energy throughout the day feels more stable because hydrated muscles don't just help you move better, they help your entire body function more efficiently. This is why simply drinking water is only half the story. After 60, the real question isn't, am I getting enough water? But am I getting that water into my muscle cells and keeping it there? That's the difference between feeling your age and defying it. And the solution isn't complicated. It doesn't require expensive supplements or extreme diets. It comes down to adding one simple, natural element to your daily water, an element that works with your body's biology, to drive hydration deep into your muscle tissue, helping you reclaim the power, mobility, and vitality that should still be yours. The first step is understanding what's missing from plain water, and why without it your muscles will continue to lose hydration year after year. Once you know that, you can make a change so small it barely takes any effort, but the effects will ripple through your strength, your energy, and your quality of life. Because after 60, you don't just want to live longer, you want to move with strength, recover with ease, and keep your body ready for everything you still want to do. And that starts with giving your muscles the hydration they've been missing. The hidden truth about muscle hydration. Most people believe hydration is a simple equation: drink water, stay hydrated. It sounds logical. It's what we've been told for decades. But the human body, especially a body over 60, doesn't follow such a simple rule. The truth is this: drinking water and actually hydrating your muscles are two entirely different things, and the gap between the two gets wider with age. Think of your muscles as living sponges. In your youth they were fresh, soft, and able to absorb and hold water easily. You could drink a glass of water, and your muscle cells would quickly soak it up, keeping them plump, elastic, and ready for action. But as the years go by, that sponge begins to change. The muscle fibers lose some of their ability to pull water in and hold it there. The absorbency weakens. This is what science calls intracellular dehydration, water slipping away from the inside of the muscle cells. And it's a silent process. There's no flashing warning sign. You don't necessarily feel thirsty in the same way you did when you were younger. Instead, you feel the effects, a heaviness in your legs after just a short walk, a tightness in your calves or hamstrings that seems to appear overnight, recovery from simple activities stretching into days instead of hours. It's easy to blame age, arthritis, or general wear and tear, but in many cases, it's a hydration issue, not at the surface level but deep inside the very tissue that powers your movement. Now here's the twist most people don't know. Your body can't just push water into your muscle cells by force. Water doesn't work that way. It follows the rules of chemistry and biology, moving in and out of cells based on the balance of minerals and electrical charges. In other words, water needs a reason to stay inside the muscles. When the right minerals, electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium, are present in the correct balance, they create the conditions for water to enter the cells and remain there. They act like a magnet for hydration, pulling it in and holding it where it's needed. Without them, water can't stick. It slips through the digestive system and out of the body before it has the chance to do its real work. This is why so many people can drink glass after glass of plain water and still feel fatigued, sore, or tight in their muscles. It's not a lack of effort. It's a lack of absorption. The body simply isn't set up to hold on to that hydration anymore, and without the right minerals, the cycle repeats day after day. And as the years pass, the consequences grow. Dehydrated muscle cells don't just underperform in the moment, they break down more quickly over time. This contributes to sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass, which in turn affects balance, strength, and independence. It's not just about how you feel today. It's about how your body will function 5, 10, or 20 years from now. What makes this even more urgent is that your thirst signal, the brain's built-in alarm system for dehydration, becomes less sensitive with age. You may not even feel thirsty when your muscle cells are already in a deficit. That means the signs are more subtle, waking up stiff, struggling with balance, feeling more tired than you should after light activity. These aren't just signs of getting older. They are signs of a body crying out for deeper hydration. This is why the standard advice to just drink more water misses the mark entirely. Yes, water is essential, but without the right balance of electrolytes, much of it will never reach the places that matter most. Your muscles don't just need water. They need the tools to trap it, use it, and protect it. And here's the part most people never hear. Regaining that ability isn't about chugging expensive sports drinks loaded with sugar. It's about giving your body the minerals it's already designed to use. In the pure, balanced form it can absorb and retain. When you do that, something incredible happens. Hydration stops being temporary. It becomes a steady state inside your muscles, giving them the power to support every movement you make. Once you understand this hidden truth, the path forward becomes simple. Instead of pouring water into a leaky system, you strengthen the system itself. You give your muscles back the ability to hold water like they did years ago. And when that happens, the changes aren't just noticeable, they're life-changing. Because true hydration isn't about filling a glass. It's about filling your muscles with the strength and resilience that keeps you moving, keeps you active, and keeps you living the life you want at any age. Why hydration matters more. After 60% after the age of 60, every drop of hydration inside your muscles counts more than it ever did before. That's because your body is no longer operating with the same physical reserves it had decades ago. The changes may be quiet, but they are constant. And without deep, consistent hydration, those changes accelerate. Muscles are not just bundles of fibers that help you move. They are living reservoirs. In fact, muscle tissue holds more water than almost any other part of the body. In youth, that water content can be as high as 75%, but with age that percentage drops. And as it drops, so does muscle efficiency. Think about what that means in practical terms. A hydrated muscle is like a well-oiled hinge. It moves smoothly, responds quickly, and resists damage. A dehydrated muscle is like a rusty hinge, stiff, slow, and prone to wear. And unlike a hinge you can replace, your muscles are the only ones you'll ever have. Hydration affects everything your muscles do. It influences how quickly they can contract, how much force they can generate, and how efficiently they can recover after activity. It determines how much cushioning they can provide for your joints and bones. When muscles are dehydrated, they can absorb shock as well, leaving your knees, hips, and spine to take the full impact. Over time, that can lead to joint pain, cartilage wear, and reduced mobility. After 60, the stakes are even higher because muscle mass naturally declines with age, a process known as sarcopenia. If your muscles are losing both mass and water, the effect is multiplied. It's not just a little weakness here and there. It's a faster, more noticeable decline in your strength, balance, and coordination. Hydration is also a major factor in preventing cramps and spasms, which become more common later in life. When muscle cells lack adequate water and electrolytes, the electrical signals that tell your muscles to contract and relax become erratic. That's when you feel those sudden, sharp cramps, sometimes even in the middle of the night. And each cramp is more than just a moment of discomfort. It's a sign that your muscles are under stress and struggling to function properly. But it doesn't stop there. Hydration plays a role in flexibility as well. Dehydrated muscle fibers are tighter and less elastic. That's why you might wake up in the morning feeling stiff, or notice that bending, stretching, or reaching isn't as easy as it once was. This stiffness can make daily activities, from tying your shoes to stepping off a curb, more challenging. And stiffness combined with reduced strength is one of the fastest ways to lose confidence in movement. Confidence matters. When people start to feel less steady on their feet, they tend to move less. They avoid certain activities just to be safe. But moving less causes muscles to weaken even more, creating a downward spiral that is hard to reverse. Proper hydration helps break that cycle by keeping muscles strong, responsive, and ready to support your movements, so you stay active without hesitation. Hydration also impacts recovery time. After physical activity, even something as simple as a walk or gardening, your muscle fibers need to repair themselves. This repair process depends on a steady flow of nutrients, oxygen, and water into the cells. Without enough hydration, that process slows down. You might notice more lingering soreness or fatigue, which makes you less inclined to stay active. Another factor that makes hydration more critical after 60 is the body's changing fluid regulation. The hormone systems that control water balance become less responsive, meaning your body is slower to detect and correct dehydration. In simple terms, by the time you feel thirsty, your muscles may already be underhydrated. And because the sensation of thirst is weaker with age, many older adults are dehydrated without even realizing it. The consequences go beyond muscle performance. Hydration also influences circulation, brain function, digestion, and temperature regulation. But when it comes to maintaining independence, avoiding falls, and staying strong enough to do the things you love, muscle hydration is one of the most overlooked and most important pieces of the puzzle. And here's the hopeful part. This isn't a lost battle. You can't turn back the clock on your birth date, but you can absolutely restore the hydration levels inside your muscle cells. You can give them the conditions they need to function almost as efficiently as they did years ago, and when you do, the difference is noticeable, not in months, but in days. Because after 60, the question isn't just how much water you drink, it's how much water your muscles can actually keep. If you can master that, you're not just avoiding decline, you're actively protecting your strength, your mobility, and your independence for the years ahead. The missing link in water. Most people believe water is the ultimate hydrator, and in a way, it is. But here's the truth that few ever stop to consider. Plain water by itself is often not enough. It may sound strange. After all, water is what you're told to drink for hydration. It's the foundation of life, the single most important nutrient we consume. And yet, the way the body actually uses water is far more complex than simply drink it and you're hydrated. Inside the body, water doesn't just pour into cells like filling a glass. It moves according to balance, a balance of minerals, electrical charges, and osmotic forces that pull it in or push it out. Without that balance, water passes through the digestive system, into the bloodstream, and out again without ever fully saturating the muscle cells that need it most. Here's where the hidden problem lies. As we age, the body's mineral balance, the very mechanism that helps water move into cells, becomes harder to maintain. Diet changes, reduced absorption efficiency, medications, and even reduced appetite can all contribute to lower levels of key minerals. That means even if you drink the right amount of water, your cells might not have what they need to pull it inside and keep it there. Imagine trying to inflate a balloon with a tiny leak. You can blow air into it all day long, but the balloon will never stay full. That's what it's like when you drink plain water without the minerals your muscles require. The hydration slips away almost as quickly as it enters. The minerals in question are known as electrolytes: sodium, potassium, magnesium, and others. These aren't just nutrients, they are electrical conductors that signal your cells to open their gates and allow water to flow inside. Once inside, they help keep that water there so your muscles remain hydrated, elastic, and ready for action. When electrolytes are missing, water can't do its job properly. It's like sending a delivery truck to a warehouse with no key to open the doors. The truck arrives, the water enters the bloodstream, but it never unloads its cargo into the muscle cells. Instead, the water moves on, eventually leaving the body without ever reaching its destination. This is why you can drink water all day long and still feel muscle stiffness, fatigue, or cramps. It's not that you aren't drinking enough. It's that you're missing the missing link that allows that water to become true hydration. For someone over 60, this missing link is even more critical because the body's ability to conserve minerals naturally declines. Sweat loss during activity, even mild activity, takes minerals with it. Certain medications increase mineral loss, and modern diets often contain far less magnesium and potassium than the body needs. The result? A slow but steady drift toward a mineral deficit, one that keeps water from fully hydrating your muscle cells. Now, some people turn to commercial sports drinks to replace electrolytes, but these are often loaded with sugar, artificial flavors, and unnecessary additives. For older adults, the sugar load can be harmful, and the extra calories offer no benefit. What your muscles truly need is a clean, balanced way to replenish electrolytes, without the unhealthy extras. Once you restore this balance, the difference is almost immediate. Water no longer rushes through the body unused. Instead, it flows into the muscle cells and stays there. The leaky balloon is sealed, and your muscles begin to feel fuller, more responsive, and better protected against strain. This is the missing link in hydration. Water needs partners to do its job effectively. And those partners are the minerals that your body used to manage with ease, but now needs you to provide intentionally. The beauty of this knowledge is that it shifts hydration from a guessing game into a precise, effective strategy. You no longer have to wonder why you feel stiff despite drinking enough water. You no longer have to accept that cramps and slow recovery are just part of getting older. Instead, you can give your muscles exactly what they need to hold on to hydration, and you can start to feel the benefits in your strength, flexibility, and endurance almost right away. And it all begins by adding one simple thing to your water, something that transforms it from a plain drink into a powerful hydration tool. Once you know what it is, you'll wonder why you didn't start years ago. The power of electrolytes. If water is the fuel your body depends on, electrolytes are the spark that makes it work. They are not just minerals in a vague nutritional sense, they are the messengers, the gatekeepers, and the enablers of true hydration. Without them, even the purest water will fall short. Electrolytes are charged particles, sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and a few others, that create the electrical signals your body runs on. These signals control everything from your heartbeat to muscle contractions to nerve function. But when it comes to hydration, electrolytes do something extraordinary. They help your cells pull water in and keep it there. Think of your muscle cells as tiny balloons, each with a thin but selective wall. Water doesn't just flow in freely. It needs an invitation. Electrolytes provide that invitation by creating the right balance of charges inside and outside the cell. This balance acts like a magnetic pull, drawing water through the cell wall and holding it inside where it can do its job. Without enough electrolytes, that magnetic pull weakens. Water might swirl around outside the cell, pass through your bloodstream, and leave the body without ever becoming part of the muscle tissue. And when that happens, your muscles can't function at full strength. They tire faster, recover slower, and become more prone to cramps and injury. Each electrolyte plays a unique role in this process. Sodium helps regulate fluid balance throughout the body. It's essential for keeping enough water in the right places, especially inside your muscles. Potassium works with sodium to move water in and out of cells while supporting proper muscle contraction and relaxation. Magnesium is a multitasker. It not only helps muscles pull in water, but also prevents overcontraction, reducing cramps and promoting smoother movement. Calcium is often thought of for bone health, but it's also vital for muscle signaling and fluid control. When these minerals are present in the right proportions, they create a hydration network, a system that doesn't just store water but uses it effectively, moment by moment. For someone over 60, this network is the difference between muscles that feel strong, flexible, and ready, and muscles that feel stiff, sluggish, and unreliable. Because here's the reality. Without enough electrolytes, water is just passing through you. And each day that your muscles go without proper hydration is another day they lose a little more of their potential. Electrolytes also play a protective role during activity. When you move, whether you're exercising, walking, gardening, or even just running errands on a warm day, your body loses electrolytes through sweat. If you don't replace them, you lose not just minerals, but also your ability to hold on to the water you drink afterward. This is why recovery can feel slower, and why the same amount of activity can leave you more fatigued than it used to. And here's where the story gets even more urgent. Many diets today are naturally low in potassium and magnesium, especially for older adults who may eat less overall. Add to that the fact that certain medications, especially diuretics or blood pressure drugs, can further reduce these minerals. And you can see how easily an electrolyte imbalance can happen without you realizing it. The result is a perfect storm: reduced electrolytes, reduced water retention in muscles, reduced performance, and a slow, steady decline in strength and mobility. But the good news is, this is not a one-way street. Replenishing electrolytes can start reversing that process almost immediately. When you restore sodium, potassium, magnesium, and other key minerals, you give your muscles the green light to absorb water again. You close the leaks, you refill the reservoir, and the effects go far beyond thirst. They extend into every movement you make. Steps feel lighter. Your balance feels more secure. Activities that used to leave you sore for days become manageable again. It's not magic. It's biology working the way it's meant to work. A system that you can switch back on with the right input. Electrolytes are that input. They are the switch. And once you flip it, hydration stops being temporary and starts becoming a stable, lasting part of your muscle health. So if you've ever wondered why your body doesn't seem to respond to water the way it used to, the answer is right here. Water is only half the equation. The other half is the minerals that make that water matter. And once you put those two halves back together, you get a level of hydration that doesn't just quench thirst. It powers your muscles, protects your joints, and keeps you moving with confidence. The special boost for muscle cells. Among all the electrolytes your body needs, there's one that stands out as a true game changer for muscle hydration: magnesium. It doesn't get the attention that sodium or potassium often do, but when it comes to helping muscles pull in and hold water, magnesium is one of the most powerful allies you can have. Magnesium's role in muscle health is both broad and deep. It doesn't just help with hydration, it supports the very process that allows your muscles to function smoothly, recover quickly, and resist fatigue. In fact, magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, and a surprising number of them relate directly to your muscles. First, magnesium helps regulate the movement of water into your cells. It works alongside sodium and potassium to create the perfect environment for hydration. Without enough magnesium, this balance is disrupted. Water might enter your cells more slowly, or worse, it might leave too quickly. That's why even mild magnesium deficiency can leave your muscles feeling tight, weak, or prone to cramping. Second, magnesium is essential for muscle relaxation. Every time your muscles contract, whether you're walking, climbing stairs, or even just adjusting your posture, they need calcium to fire the contraction. But after that contraction, something has to tell them to relax again. That relax signal comes from magnesium. If you don't have enough, muscles can stay partially tense even at rest, leading to stiffness, soreness, and an increased risk of cramps. And here's where it becomes even more important. After 60, magnesium levels naturally decline with age. Part of this is due to reduced dietary intake, as many magnesium-rich foods, like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and certain grains, may be eaten less frequently. Another part comes from decreased absorption in the gut, which means that even if you eat enough, your body may not be taking in as much as it used to. Certain medications, including some common ones for blood pressure or acid reflux, can also deplete magnesium levels. The result is a silent shortage. You might not notice it immediately, but over time it shows up as muscle tightness that never fully goes away, more frequent cramps, slower recovery from activity, and even feelings of low energy or fatigue that seem unrelated to sleep. But when you replenish magnesium, especially in combination with the other key electrolytes, something remarkable happens. The hydration gates of your muscle cells open more fully. Water flows in more easily and stays where it's needed. The tension in your muscles starts to ease, those sudden sharp cramps become less frequent, and your flexibility begins to return. Magnesium also supports energy production inside the muscle cells. This means that when your muscles are hydrated and fueled with magnesium, they don't just feel better, they work better. They can generate force more efficiently, recover more quickly, and protect themselves from damage during activity. And unlike quick fixes that fade in hours, proper magnesium intake builds a foundation. It doesn't just mask symptoms, it restores the conditions your muscles need to thrive. This is why magnesium is often called the master mineral for muscle health. It doesn't work in isolation, but when paired with sodium and potassium, it supercharges hydration in a way that plain water never could. Now imagine combining this with the daily water you already drink. By adding the right source of magnesium, along with its supporting electrolytes, you transform that water from something that simply passes through your system into a true muscle hydrating solution. You take every sip and turn it into an opportunity to strengthen, protect, and re-energize your muscles from the inside out. For someone over 60, this isn't just about comfort. It's about maintaining independence. Hydrated, magnesium-rich muscles are stronger, more coordinated, and better at protecting joints and bones. They keep you moving confidently, whether it's stepping off a curb, lifting a bag of groceries, or enjoying a walk without the fear of stiffness or cramps slowing you down. In short, magnesium is the catalyst that can turn hydration into a lasting advantage. It's the mineral that closes the gap between drinking water and actually using it. The one that can help restore the ease, energy, and freedom of movement that so many people assume is lost forever after 60. And the best part? Getting more magnesium into your hydration routine is simple. It doesn't require expensive products or complicated routines. It's one of the easiest, most powerful upgrades you can make to your daily water. And when you combine it with the other essential electrolytes, the results can feel nothing short of transformative. How to supercharge your water? By now, the picture is clear. Plain water is only part of the hydration story. Without the minerals your muscles need to absorb and hold on to that water, much of it simply passes through, leaving your cells still thirsty. But here's the good news. Fixing this isn't complicated. In fact, the solution is so simple it almost feels too easy. You can transform every glass of water you drink into a muscle-hydrating powerhouse by adding a balanced source of electrolytes, sodium, potassium, and magnesium, in the right proportions. This isn't about chasing the latest sports drink fad or stocking up on sugary energy drinks. It's about giving your body exactly what it needs without the junk it doesn't. When you add electrolytes to your water, you change the way your body treats that water. Instead of rushing through your system, the water becomes magnetically drawn into your muscle cells. The minerals create the perfect internal balance to pull hydration deep into your tissues and hold it there, where it can actually improve strength, flexibility, and recovery. The key is balance. Too much sodium without enough potassium can cause bloating or raise blood pressure. Too much potassium without sodium can leave you feeling lightheaded. Magnesium works best when it's paired with both, helping to relax muscles while also keeping them fully hydrated. This is why the ideal hydration mix contains all three, in amounts that work with your body's natural systems. The simplest way to do this is by using a clean, low-sugar or no-sugar electrolyte powder, tablet, or liquid concentrate that lists sodium, potassium, and magnesium right on the label. Avoid products loaded with artificial flavors, dyes, or excessive sweeteners. You don't need them. Your muscles care about minerals, not marketing. For some people, homemade solutions work just as well. A pinch of mineral-rich sea salt for sodium, a dash of cream of tartar for potassium, and a small amount of magnesium powder can create your own electrolyte boost. Mix it into your daily water and sip it throughout the day, especially before and after activity. The exact amounts will vary depending on your diet and health needs, but the goal is always the same: restore the balance that lets water work for you. The timing matters, too. Adding electrolytes in the morning helps set your hydration baseline for the day. Drinking them before physical activity helps prevent muscle fatigue and cramps. Sipping them afterwards speeds up recovery by replacing what's lost through sweat and movement. Even on rest days, maintaining electrolyte balance keeps your muscles primed and ready. The change can be surprisingly fast. Within days, you may notice that your morning stiffness fades more quickly, your energy lasts longer, and your muscles feel looser and more responsive. Over weeks, you may find that activities you used to avoid, whether it's gardening, walking longer distances, or simply moving with more confidence, start to feel easier. And it's not just about what you feel. Inside your muscles, the difference is measurable. Hydrated muscle fibers are plumper, more elastic, and more resistant to injury. They protect your joints better. They produce more power with less strain. They recover faster after use. All of this adds up to a body that not only feels better in the moment, but stays stronger in the long term. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. You don't have to overhaul your diet, start an extreme exercise program, or take handfuls of supplements. You simply upgrade something you're already doing every day, drinking water, and make it work harder for you. And here's the most important part. This is not a temporary fix. The more consistently you hydrate with electrolytes, the more your muscles adapt to staying hydrated. Over time, you build a new baseline, one where your muscles naturally hold onto more water, making every movement feel smoother, lighter, and more powerful. It's a small step with a big payoff. Just by adding the right balance of electrolytes to your water, you give your muscles the one thing they've been missing for years. You take control of your hydration in a way that works with your biology, not against it. And once you feel the difference, you'll never go back to plain water alone.